Hey, what's good? My name is Jonathan,
And I'm Rudy.
and we are with Pacific Coast TV, and this is a podcast for digital media and history.
All right. So today's topic is online gaming and gamers. To get things started, we're going to be talking about the start of all of that, YouTube. Now, YouTube was founded in 2005, back when the internet was still fairly new, and it has allowed creators to stream games to anyone they want to. Before this, and this is interesting because this is the co-founder of YouTube, Jawed Karim, and this is him in the first ever YouTube video entitled "Me at the Zoo." And basically, before YouTube, if you wanted to have a show, you had to have a whole studio, a crew, a network behind you. You couldn't just anyone couldn't do it. But with the rise of YouTube, now anyone can be a creator. That makes it so much easier, so much more convenient. And basically, everyone now had that kind of access. And now let's see if we can bring up a screenshot of what YouTube looked like back in the early days, because it has changed a lot.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Why don't you talk about it, Jonathan?
Man, those were when ads weren't even a thing back in the days. No. Back then when we would have to use what was it, dial-up, you know?
Oh, yeah, and that reminds me. I'm old enough to remember when I was a little kid. I remember my dad and my mom logging into, this is probably old technology at the time, but they logged into a Windows 95 black laptop, and they would connect to the dial-up. And I remember specifically the image they would show when they were connecting to dial-up of basically just files copying over from the phone line. And then they would look at this website called The Weather Bug. And getting a little sidetracked here, but that actually brings me to how I got interested in media and gaming. Is that my parents, when me and my brother were kids, wouldn't let us near technology. I didn't get my own phone until I was in high school. So the first technology I got my hands on was really, really old technology. I remember my first computer was a Windows XP computer. And that was how I first started getting into video editing. But only later, when I got a better computer, I think the first computer I had with internet access was a Windows 7 computer, was I able to connect to the internet. And then I started watching YouTube. And we'll get into more of that later. But I remember when I was first doing YouTube, because I would watch videos, but I also posted videos. And basically, it was so much different than it was now. Not hugely different, but they've definitely updated things and stuff like that. It looks completely different now when you try and upload a video than before. And the unfortunate thing is that this affects everyone, gamers, just content creators in general. YouTube just put up a whole bunch of really rules that hurt small creators. And it basically, for example, removing the dislike button when their videos, YouTube's own videos, were the one that were getting disliked, and all sorts of stuff. So anyway, that's very interesting, and YouTube has really transformed a lot, and more people have access to it every day. So why don't you, Jonathan, take us into the rise of online streaming and how that potentially relates to YouTube? And in some cases, a lot of people do stream off of YouTube, and then some people also stream on other platforms.
Yeah, like Twitch. You have Twitch, YouTube Premium, of course, and also you can actually download Twitch onto your TV. Apparently, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. I don't watch a lot of Twitch, but it must be very convenient to be able to do things you could only do on your computer, on your phone, now on your TV.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Not even, what was it? A couple years ago, I didn't even know of a thing called Twitch. It was mainly like, what the heck was that? Because my little brother was actually showing me some things on Twitch, so it was kind of like a culture shock in a way. But yeah, man, like Oh, Rudy, what do you have to say about the online streaming services?
Well, I think online streaming services have greatly expanded. Um, and there's basically two sort of avenues to this. There's like streaming on YouTube and Twitch where people are streaming games or chatting with their
Hmm.
fans or stuff like that. And then there's like streaming services like Disney Plus. I'm trying to think of any other ones. Yeah, I can only think of Disney Plus. I don't like Disney, but unfortunately, that's the only streaming service I can think of. And Disney is basically has bought a bunch of different companies, and now
Oh
they
yeah.
trying to control the streaming market. And unfortunately, I fear they may be trying to monopolize the market so they can charge whatever price they wanted. Let me see. I
No,
think
you
one of the
have
things. Oh, what were you gonna say?
you actually you have Hulu, you have Paramount Plus, you have HBO Max, you have what else? Of course, Netflix, Disney Plus, and also if you're like into anime, Funimation account or Crunchyroll. No,
Oh
all of
yeah, I have. Yeah, I have heard of Crunchyroll, and that reminds me. Now we don't want to say anything specific because we don't want to spoil anybody. But have you been watching the Obi-Wan Kenobi series on Disney Plus? And
oh
without spoiling it, do you like it or not? What's your spoiler-free review?
oh yeah, man, that thing smacks. Hey,
I know it was so good to be able to see um, Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen back in their roles. Um,
oh yeah.
And the other question I had is you seem to know a lot more about Twitch than I do. So could you give a description of what Twitch is about and you know, like what is it like to watch it?
Oh well, I actually, do on my free time I do stream on Twitch.
Oh,
So
that's so cool. Um
so usually what I do, I have on one monitor I have my Twitch stream and all that other stuff, and on the other monitor I have the game I'm usually playing. Now, if I'm like viewing somebody, then you have the content creator is on, of course, showing whatever the person is doing. Then you have the whole list of like the comments, and if you want to like subscribe to their stuff or things, something like that. And it's actually really good, especially knowing that you're helping like little content creators actually make it. Man.
yeah, and
Rudy.
oh yeah, yeah, and yeah, I had before we go on to the mobile phones, I know we've got a lot of stuff to get to. Before we go on to mobile phones, I would just like to ask you what kind of games do you like to stream on Twitch?
Um, of course, Star Wars,
Oh
always.
yeah, you
Uh,
got to have the Star Wars.
oh yeah, Star Wars, League of Legends, and what else? Honestly, any game. If I play it, I usually start streaming it. You know, so I'm universal.
Yeah, I've never streamed games on Twitch or YouTube sort of. I mean, I let's see. What was I thinking? I basically I have a YouTube channel and I've actually thought about like doing like a playthrough of like Minecraft or something, but I've decided that I like the content I'm doing now better. I have done like comedy sketches based on Minecraft. I did a comedy sketch on the storming Area 51 back in the day. But it's very helpful to have those kind of streaming. I remember a couple years ago I got into watching PewDiePie's Minecraft series. That was really cool. And there was some point I was going to bring up, but it just slipped my mind. So, can you remind me whose turn it is to go on to the next topic?
Of course. Now, this is the beauty about Twitch. Sadly, you can't get Twitch on what the little BlackBerry right there, but you can start getting on the smartphone. Now, my what was it? My first phone was actually like the Nokia brick, the one that you just saw. So I started off pretty old, you know.
Yeah. I've heard all the rumors about those. Is it true if you run over a Nokia brick with your car, it doesn't even like get a scratch?
Oh, funny story. I remember one time. I think I was so mad at something. I think I was playing Ratchet and Clank, and there was like I don't know what it was. Maybe it was a roach or something, and it was like on the wall. I was I was really scared. I'm like, oh no, and I like bataranged it, and instead of breaking my phone, I broke the wall.
Oh my god. Well, that
Yeah,
just shows
so
you the godlike powers of the Nokia brick phone. You know, you throw it to hit like a roach. You know what? It's not breaking the phone. It's breaking your wall. The phone is not the problem. Your wall is too weak. So I think what I'd like to do now is I'd like to let's bring those pictures of the phones back up because your segment to this was very good, and I think it's important to sort of talk about the rise of cell phones and mobile games. So phones, I think phones like cell phones got started back in the 80s, and it used to be just like a brick, like your Nokia phone, except it was different than that. It was even older, and it was the white one on the left side. And I think they used to have like cell phones in cars, and then you had like the personal phone. It was really huge. And slowly, as you get into the 21st century, you get like I think you get stuff like the Nokia and the BlackBerry. Actually, I remember my dad used to have when I was younger. He used to have a BlackBerry he got from work, and eventually he actually had a flip phone, a white flip phone at one point, and then he upgraded to a BlackBerry, and then I think he upgraded to an iPhone. And here's the thing about iPhones: uh, they were revolutionary when they first came out, but that's a good picture of an iPhone right there. I have an iPhone right here. It's very cool. I think it's like an iPhone 7 or something. But here's the thing about these things: there is no headphone jack. Like, this is like the sketchiest stuff I have ever seen. They basically removed the headphone jack because they wanted you to, it's a little more complicated than that, but they basically wanted you to buy AirPods. And honestly, AirPods, I mean, I'm going to get a lot of haters for this, but come on, AirPods aren't even that great. Like, they fall off your ears easily. I mean, I would think and I know that because I was online and I saw this post where I think you could track your AirPods with your iPhone, and someone had been traveling and brought one AirPod with them and left their other AirPod on the other side of the world. So it showed on the tracking thing that one AirPod was in the U.S., but another AirPod was way across the world, and that must have been just the most annoying thing ever for the person in question. But basically, they want to force you to buy AirPods, and it's true. They do sometimes give you headphones that you can plug into the power cord, but I just think it's literally the worst change to phones has ever invented. I mean, I remember there was a comedy sketch about that when they first took out the headphone jack. Is that they just like it was a joke that they would get a comedy sketch. They were introducing just like this phone case. They had taken all the features out of the phone. Um, but yeah, it's incredible. Like another thing we can talk about that is like it's interesting because I think you can bring up the moon landings. Your phone that you have in your hand right now is more powerful than the computer they used to land on the moon. Back when they landed on the moon landings were working with very, I mean, the moon landings in some ways advanced technology, but they were working with much less technology than we had now. They had giant computers in mission control, and then they made actually a very small computer that would fit inside the lunar module, and that would do like calculations to like make sure they were landing on the moon, and like that would show their altitude above the moon's surface and stuff like that. And there's all sorts of there were some computer problems where the computer was actually crashing during the moon landing, and they were showing errors, and they had to manually land on the moon. But enough about the moon landing, as I'm sure people don't like it as much as I do, but it just shows you that we've gone from the moon landing to compute, because the moon landing computer, even a calculator is more powerful than that. But now we have phones that you can hold in your hand, and it's basically the equivalent of a computer that used to take up an entire room. And that brings us to our next subject, mobile games. So Jonathan,
mhm.
mobile games have a reputation for being like really, really, really like cruddy. What is the crappiest mobile game you've ever seen or played?
It's a list, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a long list. I think the weirdest. one was like I was it was like a rip off of GTA San Andreas. It was like a Chinese Asian rip off, and instead of CJ, I think the character's name was I think it started with I think an O. I didn't really get past it because I was like, you know what, I don't even want to play this game, and I deleted it.
Oh yeah, I've had so many crappy mobile games. And what's worse is like games that are maybe not necessarily poorly made, but they're paid. Well, they're sort of like pay to win. They're like, hey, you can play this game for free. They're freemium games. You can play this game for free, but if you want to have a fun time, you gotta pay some money. I remember. I remember. Are you by any chance a fan of Futurama?
Oh, of course. Actually, there was that one game where it had like Futurama versus like I think American Dad and The Simpsons. It was like a whole mixture of Fox characters. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think I've heard of that, but the game I was referencing to was like a 2015 game, I think, called Futurama Worlds of Tomorrow. Now, this is basically the worst freemium game ever. So basically, what I ended up doing is I sent all my characters on a mission where their levels weren't good enough, and they all died. And I just had to do it because I kept thinking of the Zach Brannigan quote: "Any mission I command is a suicide mission." So they all died, but now to revive them, you either need to pay money or get an exorbitant amount of pizzas, which takes forever to collect in the game. So I just had to stop playing. But I think we can all agree that mobile games, there are some good ones. I've played some good ones. There's one called Manor Matters. It's also a freemium game, but you can play it without like having to pay. But that's a pretty good cool one. It's where you like find like hidden objects, sort of like I Spy, and then you can advance the story of this. You're living in the manor and you're trying to renovate it and discover mysteries. That's a pretty good one. But I think a lot of mobile games are just terrible. But
I mean, I wouldn't say all mobile games are terrible. I mean, there was a South Park. There was a South Park game I used to play. It was a mobile game, but it was kind of like an RPG type of game. And it wasn't really pay to play, but it was like more time consuming than anything. If that makes any sense, you know?
Yeah, I've heard of South Park mobile games. I probably can't say any of them, or we'll get our show taken off the air. But I think you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I think it is time. Why don't you, Jonathan, take us away by talking about the multiple internet platforms people play games on and watch games on?
Well, you already know, like I mentioned, Twitch is a very good one. TikTok, apparently, you can download it on your TV as well. And also, Reddit is really good, especially if you're like in a group. Mm-hmm. That's a really good place. What else?
Maybe we could
Facebook.
Oh yes,
is good too.
Why don't we bring up that picture of Mark Zuckerberg?
Oh, absolutely! Look at
He's
that.
He's a totally normal human being. And I'll just leave it at that.
Oh yes, sir. Oh, perfection, right there. But yeah, like there's so many things that you can stream on nowadays. It's really not even funny, man. Like, do you stream as well?
Well, I sometimes I've in the past I'm not doing this as much just because I often don't even have the time. But I used to watch PewDiePie's live streams where he played like games and stuff. Mm-hmm. Let's see, I've been watching the Obi-Wan show on Disney Plus. I don't really watch a lot of those like mainstream streaming websites like Twitch, but I watch live streams. I watch this probably doesn't count to gaming, but I've watched live streams on YouTube and stuff like that. Live streams of NASA launches and stuff like that, tying back to that moon landing stuff. Anything else you'd like to add about streaming services and stuff like that? Live streaming platforms?
Well, other than it helps out with content creators, that's pretty much it. I mean, PewDiePie usually streams on Twitch, also Markiplier as well.
Yeah,
But
I've seen
yeah.
some of Markiplier's videos. Didn't he do that one where like it was like the channel that was going to be like on like for like a year and then everything got deleted or something? I'm blanking on the name. Oh yeah,
I'm
I
not
guess
too sure.
I think it was he did it with some other people. I think it was this channel where they did a bunch of stuff like videos and it was for an entire year and then at the end of the time they deleted everything on the channel. I am blanking on the name, but probably some people watching will get what I'm talking about. So
I mean, it. I'm sure whoever watches, you can comment down below. That's fine. Help us out, you know. Well, as far as I know, Markiplier and PewDiePie are the main ones I usually watch on streaming services.
yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
oh,
I think that brings us into our next subject, which is individual gamers. So one of the people I watch is Call Me Kevin, who's a YouTuber, and he's sort of more like a satirical gamer. He's not really a serious gamer. He just does it and does stupid things for the laughs. And yeah, he's let's see what he's played the Sims for. I've seen him on Cooking Simulator, BitLife. Have you ever heard of BitLife?
no, I've heard of Goat Simulator.
Oh my God, an even holier game than BitLife. BitLife is not worthy to kiss the feet of Goat Simulator. I think PewDiePie actually did some like Goat Simulator videos back in the day. Those are pretty funny. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah, man.
speaking of PewDiePie, let's bring up the pictures of PewDiePie. All right. Well, yeah, there we go. So PewDiePie has been he's been considered the king of YouTube for the longest time ever. He was the most subscribed YouTuber on the platform. Currently, he has 111 million subscribers. And PewDiePie started off his YouTube channel as a gaming channel. And he played like Call of Duty, I think. I got to check that out. But he also played like games like that, and he also, one of the things he played later in his career was Minecraft. For a long time, I think some of his first videos were Minecraft videos, but for a long time he wouldn't play Minecraft just because he thought that everyone was playing Minecraft. He didn't want to be part of it. He didn't want, because Minecraft YouTubers would play Minecraft and then Minecraft didn't get popular, and they
Dude, that's a fish right there.
they stopped posting.
Right
but this
there.
is actually
Here we go, bros.
a clip,
Here we
and let's
go.
raise the volume and listen to some of it.
Come on, grab it. Come on, grab it.
Ah, yes.
I think what he's trying to do here is get fish in a bucket.
Don't laugh at me, Jurgen. I'm trying here.
And that just brings you
Do
into...
I need a bait for it? I probably need a bait for it. Could I actually just capture him with my bucket? This is how we fish in
Minecraft
Sweden.
live stream series, including Jurgen, the horse, Sven, the dog, and water sheep. And that really brought a lot of life and lore to his service.
Oh!
Hey, you got the bucket of salmon.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Haters said it wasn't possible.
And this is his original base and his original.
Now you go in there. Oh my
his
God,
original series. He started a different hardcore series, but
we
the
gotta
first
get him a
one
friend.
was
We
this
gotta
is
get him a friend, bros. Okay, all right, we're going scuba diving. Can you make scuba diving equipment?
Oh, yeah.
What the hell just happened?
So the funny thing about
let's just make a
PewDiePie
bunch
and
of buckets. I don't
Minecraft
have time
is he
for
hadn't played in so long
It's
since it was like a
time.
new
Smash
game
like if you're
basically,
excited
and he
for
just
bucket
didn't
making
know how
time.
to do anything.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. All right,
during
we're
one of
making
his earlier episodes,
That's what
his
I thought. That's
fan
what I
base
thought. All
said
right,
that
we're
his
making
commenters
buckets.
said that, hey, if you sleep in the nether, you get an achievement.
Jesus Christ. What is
So he
happening?
went to the nether and he placed the bed there and he blew
You can
himself
drown
up.
in Minecraft?
It was really hilarious.
That's so unrealistic.
Ah, yes. I
Goddamn,
love
how many
that for
fishes
him.
breathe underwater then?
What is your
Playing
opinion
that
of
liberal.
PewDiePie in the Minecraft series?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll play Minecraft myself. So I can play that for hours. And PewDiePie, I watch. I'm actually subscribed to him. So
Me too,
I keep
me
in
too.
contact. Yeah, man.
And
Sorry about that.
the whole thing about PewDiePie is that there was this he started out as a niche YouTuber and became the most subscribed YouTuber on the platform. I remember I was watching him right at the end. He got he got taken over by T Series, which is an Indian movie and music video streaming service, and there was a whole T-Series versus PewDiePie fight, and everybody was trying to sub to keep him up on top, but unfortunately, PewDiePie did not remain on top, but he's still a major force in the YouTube community.
What's actually impressive is that PewDiePie actually started off as a college student. You know, he just did it for fun.
That's true. You know? He did it for fun, and then he decided to quit to focus on his college, but he came back. He decided he didn't want to quit, and he became he made a career out of it. That brings me to another point I didn't yet bring up, is that often, if you were to go back 50 years and say, hey, in 50 years, people are going to be able to play games for a living, and people will be like, you crazy, get a job. But now it's actually a legitimate career choice that you can make money at. Now, is it hard to get to the top and hard to make it as an online gamer? It can be, yes, but it's definitely something that's a legitimate career. With even 10 or 20 years ago, that wasn't the case.
Absolutely. Not even 30 years ago, internet was probably a thing of the past. Not a lot of people could even get internet. It was mainly all dial-up. Nowadays, this internet's everywhere.
Yeah, that's true. Internet has basically taken over the world, and basically internet. The interesting about internet is it actually goes. I mean, this was covered in another media history, but it actually goes back to the 60s for military uses, and it didn't come into main focus for everyone until the 90s. But yeah, I've grown up with the internet, and I remember when I was in preschool, I was seeing parents had these phones that you could take pictures with now. It was I even back when I was younger, technology hadn't advanced to the point where it is now, and it's actually really, really incredible. So let's have any final thoughts about your view of online gaming and people who watch it and people who game online.
If I could go back in time and actually get good at games, I think I would have made it. I'm not gonna lie, but no, it's reassuring knowing that you can make a career just on playing games. So
yeah,
really cool.
That's for sure. It's very interesting how things have changed over the years, and I didn't get into watching gaming and playing games right away because I didn't really have access to it. But once I got into it, I really liked Minecraft, and I still like Minecraft, and I've made a lot of cool worlds in Minecraft. And yeah, so that's it for gaming media history.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, so we'll see you next time. Goodbye. Thank you for watching.
Bye.